So, welcome to the sixth video of Bongtech Solutions. In the previous video, I have showed what is the collector current, that is IC, and the collector emitter voltage, that is VC, and the different current and the voltage components of a transistor. So, in this today's topic, that is the second topic of the transistor, I will be explaining that how to use a transistor as a amplifier. So, let's start with our theory first. Let's go. So in this simple circuit, we have attached a voltage source, that is VCC, in series with the load resistance RL and a transistor in series with it. The collector end is connected with the positive terminal and the emitter end is connected with the negative terminal. So we can say that this VCE is the potential difference which is arising between the collector and the emitter terminal, and that IC, that is the collector current, is flowing in the collector current, that is IC amount of current is flowing in the loop inside this. So if we apply a KVL equation, we get a solution like this. The first line shows the KVL equation in the output loop, and then we have solved it for IC. Then we have put IC equal to 0, then we have get VCC equal to VCE, and when VCE equal to 0, that is the collector emitter voltage is taken 0, then IC is obtained to be the VCC by RL, and these are the intercepts in the X and Y axis. So the KVL equation gives a straight line in the coordinates of VCE and IC. So geometrically, this one is the KVL equation. This straight line represents the KVL equation in the output loop, and this is called as the DC load line in the output of the transistor, that is the DC load line. And now if we plot the VCE versus IC, that is the output characteristic curve, it will intersect the DC load line at different points. These are the different points of intersections. The points where the DC load line intersects the output characteristics curve, these are called as the Q point of the transistor. And these Q points of the transistor, it is a point given by the coordinates of the VCE and IC. So these are the operating points of this transistor. So if we can fix the operating point of the transistor to be stable at one point, then the transistor, we can say that then the transistor is stable. So we have to keep these Q points stable. Now if we change this IB from 20 to 30 to 40 and again from 40 to 30 to 20, then with respect to time it will give a sine curve like this one, since it will sweep across the points Q1, Q2 to Q3. Now this may be called as the variation of the IB, that is the sweeping of the Q point with respect to time. This may be called as the time axis, and with respect to that of the time axis, the IB is going up and down. So the Q point will also sweep like this and form a sine curve. Now if we produce these Q points along the Y axis parallel to the X axis, in that case it will give a curve like this, that is the change of the IC with respect to time. So you see there the IB is changing from 20 microampere to 30 to 40. So the range of IB is 20 microampere. 40 minus 20, 20 microampere. And here it is the IC, that is the collector current. The output current is sweeping between 2 to 4 microampere. That is delta IC is given by 2 microampere. So we can say that a little change in the base current, that is a changing 20 microampere current in the base current, will change the collector current by 2 microampere. So the amplification factor is given by beta AC, that is delta IC by delta IB, that is the change in the collector current divided by the change in the base current. So numerically it will be given by 2 microampere divided by 20 microampere, 2 milliampere divided by 20 microampere equal to 2 into 10 to the power 3 microampere divided by 20 microampere. So it's given to be 10 to the power 2, that is 100. So this is the amplification factor. So the change in the IB will be amplified 100 times in the collector current. So this is how the amplification of a transistor works. And now let's go to the practical session. Now the practical can be shown only by using this much setup. So this one is the transistor, the NPN transistor of model 2N22A. These are some fixed resistors, and this is a variable resistor. I will vary it like a regulator to change the base current, and the collector current will change across these buzzers, and there will be a difference in the peepings. And I will be using these two. This is a 1.2 volt battery which will be used to change the base current, and this is a 3.7 and 3.7 in series, which will be giving around 3.9. so it is a approximately 7.8 to 8 volt source. This will be used to change the collector current through the buzzers. So I will change this current from the battery, and the transistor will change the collector current from this battery, and the buzzer sound will change. Pings and some wires, and on this breadboard I will make the circuit. So okay, let's start. So I have made the circuit like this. This source is used to change the base current, and this is the variable resistor, that is the preset, a 10k resistor I am using. Now the transistor, a fixed resistance, and this is the buzzer. And now if we change this resistor, the base current will change and the buzzer sound will change. Now let's see. Now it's in the off position. Now if we change the resistance, that is the base current, the buzzer sound will be changing. And now I am decreasing the base current. Totally decreased. Base current is 0, and now I am again increasing. Here it is increasing. And that's all about the transistor. We can also see the change in some LEDs. Change can be a little visible in this LED too. I am increasing the base current. See, there is an increase in the intensity. Again I am decreasing here. Okay, that's the change. Again I am increasing. Full. Again decreasing.